Few fights to if you don't mind. Ryan and Rolly, how do you see that?
Ryan.
Why and how?
Rolly's not that good. Ryan is a better boxer.
So I'm excited for that too.
All right. Who do you got with it?
I think Ryan. I think Ryan catches him and wins.
I'm happy this fight's finally happening because we got to find out, like, you know, what would happen in a real fight, and it's time to figure it out.
Overdue.
Yes, sir.
With just a few days left before the fight, most pros are backing Ryan Garcia, but nobody's calling it an easy win. Teofimo Lopez, who shares the card that night defending his WBO super lightweight title against the undefeated Arnold Barboza Jr., didn't hold back when asked by The Ring for his prediction. I'd say that the fight goes to a late round stoppage by Ryan Garcia. I think Ryan will end it, since he's been away for that long, Lopez said. It's a prediction that carries a bit of extra spice considering the long history of almost between Lopez and Garcia themselves. For years, boxing fans dreamed of the two young stars meeting, but obstacles, promotional, contractual, and personal, have kept them apart. Teofimo knows that if Garcia stumbles here, their collision may never happen. It's self-interest mixed with analysis, and it's that kind of emotional entanglement that makes boxing predictions so much more volatile than simple guesses.
As well, and I think they're going to fight at 47.
Yeah. Rolly's a big dude. Obviously, he has that power. Ryan has that right hook.
Yep.
So, who do you got?
I got Ryan. I got Ryan Garcia.
Why?
Yeah, I just think that from that fight and since then, he hasn't been fighting for that long of a period, and then being stopped the way he was. I think he might be changing trainers, or he might still be with Salas, but even then, but I think it's going to be a great matchup.
Mikey Garcia, a 4-division world champion and one of boxing's most respected minds, is also picking King Rai to finish the job. In an interview with Little Giant Boxing, Mikey was confident but measured, offering both an endorsement and a warning. I think Ryan wins. I think it catches him and stops him, but as long as the fight lasts, Rolly is in the fight. He's always going to be aggressive, moving forward, throwing punches and things like that, said Garcia. That's the dark cloud hanging over all these predictions. Rolly's unhinged style means he's dangerous as long as he's breathing. He's not a technician. He's a storm. One mistake, and Garcia could find himself drowning. The confrontation is for the WBA regular welterweight title, and while hardcore fans might roll their eyes at the term regular champion, the stakes are no joke.
Yeah, you know, because Rolly brain a little messed up now because he done been to sleep a few times, but it's a fight that I truly do not know who will win. It's whoever lands that first clean shot.
Yeah, nah, real talk. And you can tell a lot, like, Rolly going to the body a lot because Garcia kind of really leave that open a lot. And since he is a shorter fighter, you know what I'm saying, he gonna try to be more, close that space way more. I ain't gonna lie, this definitely is one of them fights, like I said, whoever land that.
A belt, pride, a comeback, and future mega fights are all on the line. Experts are tipping Garcia to win, but it's not unanimous. Some think Romero's rawness, his unpredictable rhythm, his reckless courage, could serve as the ultimate equalizer against Garcia's polished speed.
I hope everybody gets in there, has a great time, leaves happy, healthy, a little bit richer. But Ryan's quick, man. I'll just tell you something. Like, I remember from my fight days, I'm a bit old now, but I'm scared of the guy whose hands you can't see. Those are the ones to be afraid of.
Because they're all good fighters, but Ryan's clearly your favorite.
They're all fantastic fighters. Ryan and I are good friends, you know, so we have a personal relationship there. But I don't want to wish disrespect on anybody, or I don't want to jinx anybody. I just hope everybody has a great time. But I think when you can't see it coming, that's when it hurts.
You're going to be at the fight, Mason?
Even Ryan himself knows this won't be a walk in the park. In fact, Garcia's own words show just how aware he is of the minefield he's about to step into. Speaking about Romero's punching power, Garcia didn't sugarcoat a thing. Even Tank said, "This dude has rocks in his hands," Garcia recalled. Gervonta Tank Davis, a man who brutally stopped both Garcia and Romero in different fights, has a unique authority when he speaks on their power.
Can Rolly put out the upset? I don't want to say that's crazy, but yeah, hopefully for the sake of Rolly, he pulled it off. But it's gonna be a good fight. No, you think? Huh?
Someone's going to get knocked out.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody get knocked out.
Was it Ryan or was it Rolly? Because they both.
I ain't gonna lie, Rolly hit hard. People be sleeping on Rolly because he been obviously I don't know how to say it.
When Ryan says, "I feel like this dude is explosive. If I get caught with one shot, it could be the end of the night." It's not posturing. It's genuine respect for the threat across from him. Garcia isn't underestimating Rolly's awkward violence. "He might not be the most skilled, but if he lands, it'll be an early night," Garcia admitted, adding that he feels more alert facing Romero than even when he was gearing up for Teofimo or Haney. That's a heavy statement, and it hints at the real mental preparation going on behind Ryan's Instagram perfect exterior.
I was, physically smaller than him at the time. Now I'm next to him, he looks smaller than me. He look like a baby compared to me. I know I'm a big dude, so you're in for a rude awakening.
Others have been even more blunt. Gabriel Rosado says the fight won't even last 5 rounds, comparing Garcia versus Romero to Oscar De La Hoya versus Ricardo Mayorga, a fight where Oscar clinically dismantled the wild, rugged Mayorga. Rosado sees history repeating itself. "I see it being Oscar De La Hoya versus Mayorga. Ryan being Oscar and Mayorga coming in, that's Rolly, and just swinging them wild punches and just staying sharp with that jab and throwing that left hook right in between and catching Rolly," Rosado explained. To him, Romero is little more than a walking target, and Ryan, humbled and hungry after a tumultuous year outside the ring, will be too sharp to miss.
The best left in the world.
Rosado wasn't shy in hinting that Garcia's time away from boxing, whether it involved PED accusations or not, might have been a disguised blessing. "I think it's probably a blessing in disguise because I feel that if he would have just stood on that high horse, he could have fell off. He could have lost focus. He could have lost track," Rosado said. That's a controversial take, no doubt, implying that Garcia's chaos outside the ring might have actually saved his career rather than ruined it. And if you ask Oscar De La Hoya, this fight is not just about beating Romero, it's about launching Ryan Garcia into boxing's stratosphere.
If they land, they can do some damage. And Ryan Garcia, look, he's coming off, it's going to be about a year now. He's hungry. He's hungry to get on top.
De La Hoya sees the torch, ready to pass. He's ready to take that throne and be the next guy. "I really do feel that," said De La Hoya to Fight Hub TV. "That throne he's talking about? Canelo Alvarez's spot as America's boxing superstar." Oscar didn't hold back his shots at Canelo either, subtly jabbing at the Mexican icon by saying, "Alvarez no longer takes risks and mostly fights lesser opposition nowadays." Shots fired.
I believe so.
Rolly's a big puncher though, too.
Yeah, he's a big puncher, but when I think about Rolly's Ryan, I think about De La Hoya Mayorga.
Yeah, someone else had told me, Rosado had told me that he thinks the same way. Why?
Well, you have big punchers who throw, those are easy to block. All you got to do is be calm, stay collective, and do your job. That's it. So I think Ryan, it's going to be a fun, short fight. It's going to be a fun 4-round fight.
In Oscar's mind, Ryan's pathway is clear. Flatten Romero, flatten Devin Haney, and then go hunting for Jaron Boots' Ennis. 3 big wins, and Ryan could leapfrog Canelo, who has grown cautious and corporate in his matchmaking. Is that reality or fantasy? That depends on which Ryan Garcia shows up. But Oscar's belief is unwavering. "I see him as more powerful. I see him stronger and determined to make a statement. And he believes the statement will be short and brutal." I think the power is going to make the difference here against Rolly Romero, and the speed. The pop in his hands is incredible. It's going to be a fun 4-round fight. It's going to be a high pace, and both guys can bang, said De La Hoya.
Ryan, it's going to be a fun, short fight. It's going to be a fun 4-round fight.
4 rounds.
I believe so.
So majority of people I've spoken to have told me 4 to 6, 4 to 6. Why? Why so short?
It's going to be at a high pace, and both fighters can bang. Hey, Rollies can land a punch. You never know. But I think the punches that are going to be flying inside that ring is going to make it for a short night.
The truth is, everything about this fight screams chaos. Garcia has the speed, the clean technique, the flashy arsenal. Romero has the power, the chaos factor, the X factor of being completely unbothered by form or convention. There's a real possibility that this fight looks like a crash rather than a chess match. And if Romero lands first, we could be looking at one of the year's most shocking upsets. Garcia might be the favorite, but make no mistake, favorites fall all the time when heavy hands are involved.
Think Ryan cleans up Rolly?
I do.
Think he wins the fight? Yeah,
I think for both fighters obviously the common opponent right there. I think that both fighters Obviously, Ryan just fought Tank. I think he'll be better since fighting Tank.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with Rolly. I think Rolly became better from fighting Tank. I think that they knew certain mistakes that they made. I think they believed in their game plan. Got us all to believe in their game plan. I think they came to this fight with.
He and Romero rehashed a sparring session from 8 years ago that Romero posted on YouTube, where he got the better of Garcia. It's been like an old sitcom that refuses to die, living on through reposts and memes and random clips that fans won't let rest. Garcia, trying to laugh it off, compared it to Friends, a show that just keeps playing reruns no matter what. Damn, man, is this like Friends? It won't stop? He said, half joking, half exhausted. Romero wasn't exactly disagreeing. I ain't even gonna lie, I'm tired of watching that shit, he said, shaking his head. The memory of that sparring hangs over both of them, but Garcia made it clear he's not the same kid who struggled under Romero's pressure back then. Sure, Romero could manhandle him a bit at that time, rough him up, push him around, but that was then. Garcia believes he's grown into a different fighter. Bigger, stronger, sharper. In his mind, whatever advantages Romero had, they're long gone now. Romero won't be able to bully him in the ring like before, and Garcia seems to draw real confidence from that. Garcia, not one to leave an old wound alone, also took the chance to question Romero's chin.
He's definitely went downhill since he got knocked out. I feel like his chin hasn't recovered, and that's just the honest truth. You know, I don't think Pitbull hit him that hard, but he's not handling punches well. That's just the bitter truth of the sport. Sometimes you get knocked out, your chin gets weak. I feel like your chin is weak. I feel like there's no way in 12 rounds I don't catch you with a good shot.
He brought up Romero's loss to Isaac Pitbull Cruz, painting the picture vividly, saying Romero looked like he was looking for Easter eggs in the ring after getting knocked down. It wasn't just a line to get a laugh. It was a pointed shot at Romero's ability to take a punch these days. Garcia thinks the spark Romero once had is dimming, and he's not afraid to say it out loud.
Skills alone, boxing knowledge alone, who would you pick to be the winner?
I would pick probably Ryan.
Okay, and how do you think Ryan's speed is a match for Rolly's punch?
I think Ryan has extremely fast hands, and he has a tremendous left hook. That's his bread and butter. So,
but Romero can dish it out too. When asked bluntly if he thought Garcia quit against Gervonta Davis after taking a body shot and kneeling in the 7th round, Romero didn't flinch. Yeah, he said, like it was the most obvious thing in the world. And how does he think their fight will end? Ryan flatlined on the canvas, or taking a knee. No hesitation, no softening the blow. That's the level of respect, or rather the lack of it, between these two right now. The bitterness doesn't end there.
So, but I still think he's going to lose this fight. But,
you think Garcia's going to lose?
Yeah, I think I'll go with Rolly Romero for sure. That dude's pretty locked in, man.
Yeah,
I think Rolly Romero's going to I think that'll be an easy dub.
Garcia, still wrestling with the aftermath of his win-turn-no contest against Devin Haney, refuses to carry much blame. He's more angry at Haney for suing him than at himself for missing weight by a wide margin. Garcia's defense is shaky. He says he couldn't make 140 pounds, but it's hard to take seriously given that he was seen drinking during fight week.
You know, everybody really wants to see the rematch, and that's where my heart's at.
Rolly, he just said he's looking past you to fight Devin Haney. That doesn't concern you at all?
I think Devin should get the fight again.
To Garcia, because he paid Haney for the weight miss, the issue should be dead. But professionalism matters, especially when fighters sign contracts with specific weight terms. Weight classes exist for a reason. There are real dangers when one fighter comes in significantly heavier, and Garcia trying to brush it off like a parking ticket leaves a sour taste.
So Rolly going up to 147. There's many possibilities. There's the possibility of him having a better chin, which I'm not sure if he's going to have a better chin. There's probably the possibility of him being faster, stronger at 147. But him moving up to 147, the only thing I think that he's really going to get is him having a better chin, because at 140, he was getting hurt multiple times. His last fight, he didn't get hurt. He's a little bit, if I'm being honest.
Shakur Stevenson doesn't seem to have any doubts about the upcoming fight. Speaking to KO Artist Sports, Stevenson said flat out that he's picking Garcia to beat Romero. "Ryan, Rolly is not that good," he said, with the kind of casual certainty that only comes from being really sure. In Stevenson's view, Garcia is simply the better boxer, and he doesn't get caught up in the criticisms other people have about him. Asked for a prediction, Stevenson didn't dance around it either. "I can see a knockout."
A few fights to go, if you don't mind. Ryan and Rolly, how do you see that?
Ryan.
Why and how?
Rolly's not that good. Ryan is a better boxer. Ryan's a good fighter. I don't look at Ryan the way other people look at him.
Yeah. How does it play out? Do you feel it's a knockout for Ryan? Do you think it goes all 12?
I can see a knockout.
Yeah, a lot of people have said, knockout within 6 rounds. Do you?
I can see it go a little bit longer. Rolly, he's going to try.
Garcia, for his part, seems to know this fight is about more than belts or headlines. Standing in front of the media, getting ready for the big night in Times Square, he talked about how far he's come. From humble beginnings in Tijuana to now headlining in one of the world's most iconic locations, Garcia admitted he never even dreamed this big. Times Square wasn't even on his radar. Now it's real, and he's embracing it. A little extra pressure? Sure, but that's what it's all about. That's why fighters start this journey in the first place, to get to nights like this. Lights flashing, cameras everywhere, history being written.
Get your thoughts on Ryan Garcia moving past Devin Haney and wanting to fight Rolly Romero.
It's a shame. Cheers, mate. Nice to all right, good man. Good to meet you. It's disappointing for boxing, but obviously it's the easier fight is Rolly, so I understand. But
how do you think that fight plays out?
Which one?
Rolly. And,
I think Ryan win that comfortably. Yeah.
What about if Ryan wants to fight Devin Haney?
No, I think Devin wins the fight, but you had. I thought we could have done that fight in Saudi, but you heard the comments earlier.
What do you think is next for Devin Haney?
Could fight them.
Garcia also opened up about what the idea of being a world champion means to him now. When he was younger, it seemed like a nice dream, a cherry on top. But the way he sees it today, championships feel a little diluted. Too many belts, too many questionable matchups. What really matters to him now is the quality of his performances, the opponents he faces, and yes, the money he earns. He's not shy about it. This is prize fighting. They fight for a prize. Still, somewhere in his heart, that old dream flickers. Garcia believes he'll win the 147-pound championship on fight night, but he also admits he'd feel more like a true champion if he beat one of the big names. Jaron Ennis, Brian Norman, Mario Barrios. That's the level he sees himself climbing to.
Devin doesn't win. Boots Ennis, he's called him out. How did he look this Saturday? What do you think of Ennis, Ryan Garcia, 147?
First time I hear that. I think it's a great fight. I think Ryan Garcia does well. Boots Ennis is a crafty, very skillful fighter. I like him.
Underneath the jokes, the memes, the social media fireworks, Garcia is deadly serious about one thing. He's coming for Romero with everything he's got. There's no more messing around like during the Haney buildup. Garcia made that crystal clear to DAZN, pointing out that he was openly drinking and smoking before fighting Haney and still won. Now though, he's clean, focused, locked in. Every day in the gym, every round, every rep is part of the mission to make Romero pay. And in Garcia's mind, the punishment will be brutal.
Quick question, how's everybody doing? Haven't talked to you guys in a while. Hope that everybody's doing good.
Yeah, everyone's having a blessed day. Rolly, we coming.
Romero, brimming with confidence, still senses what's coming. He's told Garcia to show up at his best. No excuses when it ends. Garcia responded with a cold, clear warning. It's going to be your last fight, 100%. Believe that. Feel that. It wasn't bluster. It was a promise. Romero tried to shrug it off, but Garcia didn't flinch. He told him to train like it's his farewell tour because that's the level of destruction coming his way.
He hasn't really made that many adjustments, to be honest. Still making a lot of the same mistakes, still kind of fighting the same. His chin actually looks like it's gotten a lot weaker.
In Garcia's eyes, Romero's time is up. This isn't just another bout, it's the final chapter. The way Garcia sees it, Romero is standing at the edge, and there's no guardrail left. Every punch will be thrown like a reckoning. Romero may talk big, but Garcia is planning something definitive. No theatrics, no posturing, just a hammer falling. For Romero, the road is ending. For Garcia, it's judgment night, and when it hits, there'll be no getting up.
How confident are you that you can beat Ryan?
Oh, I mean, you should. I'm the most confident fighter in the damn world. I'm gonna always,
What's it take to beat him?
You gotta crack him just, right there.
When Chris Mannix asked Garcia why he believes Romero is only here because he's funny, Garcia didn't hesitate. Romero's antics, his wild interviews, his ridiculous callouts, they've made people laugh, even Garcia himself. Romero's trash talk is top-tier comedy, no doubt. But Garcia made it clear that being funny is one thing, being able to survive against a sharp, focused fighter is another. The story between Garcia and Romero has been brewing for years, shaped by old sparring memories, fueled by internet clips and callouts, and now finally reaching the point where words will give way to fists. The time for laughing is almost over. Garcia sees Romero not as a joke, but as a stepping stone, one final performance before he moves on to bigger, better, more dangerous challenges. For now, though, all that matters is May 2nd. So how do you think it goes? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates. See you in the next one.